Welcome back. I hope you are all doing well. If you've ever wanted to learn how to make these logos that look like they are like a matte metallic, I'm going to show you how I made a similar version, and this was mine. These look high-end. They are very on trend right now. I did check Profit Tree, and these are selling very well. As you can tell, this one is a bestseller. And also, if you want to also know how to get this shadowed look for their mock-up, I'm going to be doing that in a separate video. So let's go ahead and get on to the video so we can create something similar to this. And I'm going to start out in Photopea. And I'm going to go over here, and Photopea has templates. So we are going to click here on templates. And I am going to scroll down until I see the one that I like. I believe this one was under signs right here. Okay, the reason I'm selecting this template is because this is as close as we can get to that matte metallic look that's not like very shiny. So I'm going to go ahead and click here on this, and the first thing I'm going to get rid of is the lens flare. So I'm just going to right click on this, and I want to delete this lens flare. Okay, and also to show you how to do this, I'm going to make this one letter at a time so we can do it a couple of times. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this and delete, and I'm going to make my first letter, which is an A. And we can also click on this and make this bigger. And then I'm going to click here where it says this text box here. I do not want this in italics, so I'm going to click that and remove it. And I also want to change my font. I already know what I want to change it to, which is the Oleo. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over here. And I'm going to go ahead and look for this. And this is exactly the font that I was looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over here in the middle. And that's how it looks so far. I'm going to go ahead and take out this background. And I'm also going to take this, we're going to hide that so that we have a transparent background. And one last step that I'm going to do, I am going to remove the drop shadow. And the reason why is because I'm going to do the rest of it in Canva, because Canva is just easier to do than it is here, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And that took away with that. So we have a base to work with for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to export this as a PNG. And I'm going to go ahead and save it. Okay. Now I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to make my second letter, which is a C. I'm just doing my first and last name. So I'm going to go back to the templates, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this lens flare. And I'm going to go ahead and type my letter, which is a C. And I'm going to go ahead, and I don't want this in italic. So I tapped here where it says the T, and then I'm going to click that so it's not in italic. And I'm going to go ahead and change this to make it bigger. And I'm going to go ahead and move this just over here because we're going to change our font to the Oleo to match the other one. And we can just search here for that. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and move this here into the middle, and just like I did with the first one, I'm going to go ahead and click on this background, and I'm going to delete it. And I'm also going to delete this background because I want a transparent background whenever getting ready to export this, so I want to make sure that the background is transparent. But one last step, we're going to double click here on this layer, and I'm going to take out their drop shadow because I'm going to put that back. So now I'm going to go ahead and click here where it says File, and I'm going to export as a PNG. And we're just going to save this. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to go to Canva, and this is where we get to have a little fun because this is where we can do this 100% free. That's one of the big questions I get all the time is how can I do this for absolutely free? That's why I'm showing you here using the free account. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create, and I guess I'll go ahead and click Logo. I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger so that we can upload our designs. So here's where it's going to get fun. I'm going to go ahead and click here on Uploads, and you can kind of see where I've been playing around with some other ones here, but I am going to go ahead and upload what we just created over in Photopea, which is these two. And I'm going to open both of these files, and I'm going to bring them over here. You don't have to do this step, but I like to crop these down because if you know in Canva, if you don't crop these down, they start getting in the way and everything else. And Canva is just easier to use than Photopea, honestly. So I'm going to go ahead and click here and make this bigger. Keep watching because this looks dark right now. I'm going to change that here in a bit. And I want to have this where it looks like it's okay. I'm really liking this, so I'm going to go ahead and group these together. Perfect. Okay, now that I have these grouped together, this is also where we get to have even some more fun with this. Even though these are grouped together, you can still click in here because you can only do one letter at a time. So I'm going to go to Edit, and we're going to go to Filters. Okay, and I'm going to click on this one where it says Latte, and then I'm also going to click on the one that says Bronze just to see which one I like better, and I think I like the Latte one much better. I'm also going to go up here to Edit, and I'm going to adjust this, and I'm going to make this a little bit brighter. So I'm going to take this to about 25, and then we're going to do the same thing for this letter. We're going to click here where it says Edit. We're going to go to our filters, and I'm going to scroll down where it says Latte, and then I'm going to click Edit again, and we're going to make this lighter where it says Adjust. I'm going to go down here to my brightness and just take this back up to a little bit, maybe like 25, 26, something like that. Perfect. Okay, now that I have this, I'm going to click on these again, and the reason I took the drop shadow out in Photopea is because I wanted to be able to do it over here where I can play around with it just a little bit more. It's a little bit more easy to use. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to click on Edit. And I'm going to scroll down here where it says shadows, and I am going to put a drop shadow. Okay, now I'm going to scroll down here. Now on the blur amount, I'm going to take this down to almost nothing. I don't know why it does that sometimes, because there's nothing wrong with it. So let me go back to the drop. I'm going to go ahead, and the distance is where, and I know it's hard to see here, but I am going to take this down where the distance of, we want it to look raised, but we don't want it to be like a very harsh. So I'm still going to take this drop shadow down just a little bit. You can see that it's not as blurred because I took the blur down. And then I'm going to take this distance and just move it a little bit closer together, just where it looks a little bit raised, but we don't want it to look too raised, and we definitely don't want it to look too blurred. So that's how we do that, and you can see the difference between the two letters. This one definitely looks like it's raising up off of the page, the A, and then now we are going to do the C. Move this up just a little bit more. Perfect. Okay. So now that I'm into this letter, I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to go over here to where it says shadows, and we're going to do a drop. However, now this is where I want to show you the difference between the two, and I don't know, I'm really just liking the look of the A better than the C, because even though this also looks like it's raised up off of the page as well, I kind of like the slight raised that this is as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click here, and we're going to edit that drop shadow. So I'm going to take the blur amount down, and we're going to take the distance down just like that, and that is exactly how I like that. So we can still play around with this just a little bit more if we want to. If we feel like it needs to be just a little bit more brighter, we can go ahead and do that, and I think that's what I'm going to do, is make this just a little bit brighter. Where I can click adjust, and we can go ahead and just brighten that up just a little bit more. I'm going to take it to about 40, and then the same with this one. And by the way, you can make this any color that you want to. You can make this, let me show you the filters on here. If you really want to have some fun with it, they have some cool letters, because I'm really liking this sort of like, it's like a pink color. They have all sorts of these cool colors. This one looks more like a sort of like a gold copper. I like that one as well. So they have so many to choose from, and I am just absolutely loving it. If you want to just go back to, and you want to do this in like a silver metallic, you can do something similar to that. So I'm going to go back and just go back to the latte, which is what we're wanting to do. So is how we're going to make them look high end, is we're going to choose a background that is textured, because I absolutely just love doing that. So I'm going to go over here to some backgrounds that I have already uploaded. You can get these backgrounds if you just go to pexels.com and you go to the background, go to just type in texture. You can do that, and we can do the same thing. So I'm going to choose this background, and we're going to go ahead and make this the okay. I'm going to right click on this, and I'm going to send this layer to the back, and we can still change this. So the same thing, I'm going to go over here to edit, and we can go to the filters and see what we like the best for this. We definitely want something that's just going to look high-end and something that's going to stand out. Okay, I think I'm really liking this, but I think this is almost too much texture. So is what I'm going to do here. This looks so good. This just looks beautiful. So I'm going to take this and I am going to go ahead and click edit. And I'm going to take the contrast down so that it's not quite as textured. And there we have it. Let me blow this up just a little bit. And this is how it turned out. I'm absolutely loving this. You can choose any font you want to use, whatever it is you want to do. You can get so creative with this, and this is just the beginning. So if you want to stay tuned for my next video, I'm going to show you how I actually take this, and we are going to take our design and make it look like it has some sort of a shadow on it, something similar to this. So stay tuned for my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope everyone has a great day.